the fence.
Oh, and a goal.
Walking in front of him, he's inside the 10.
Oh, blocked from behind.
Cut off the glass, no problem at all.
Fifth, one for the cradle.
Got locked up.
One guy that's got an angle on it, and he cuts back on it. Tip ball. And Krivak couldn't corral the ball. He's fly to right field against the wind. It's out of here. Bearings it. We're tied at 19.
Hello and welcome to this production of ICRC-TV's Mason Comets against the Oak Hills Highlanders. In today's contest, we are here at Mason Softball Complex in Mason, Ohio. I'm Logan Stevens alongside Thomas Mariner. Thomas, how are you feeling today?
Feeling great. Excited to watch what should be a good softball game between two high-quality teams with a lot of talent. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Today's matchup, again, is between the Mason Comets and the Oak Hills Highlanders. Mason currently is at a record of 19-1, second in the GMC. The Oak Hills Highlanders are 18-6, and they are third in the GMC. So, Thomas, let's start talking about last game, looking back at Oak Hills. They had a 9-5 win against Hamilton. What happened there?
Yeah, Oak Hills, they won 9-5. Their pitcher, Kaylee McCarthy, improved to 10-0 on the season. And a lot of successful hitters, as you can see. Val Hudipol was 2 for 5. Taylor Wilp, 3 for 5. Kiki Murrell was 3 for 4. Andrea Gahan was 4 for 5. And Sydney McElroy was 2 for 3.
Those are some excellent stats. And while we are here, let's go to the Comets' last game, which was a heartbreaking loss, their first loss of the season to the Lakota East Thunderhawks. What happened there?
Yeah, they just couldn't put the pieces together for that one. Their big three, Buffenbarger, Bishop, and Harrison, couldn't pull through for them, and as they have the entire season. The Comets have been led by upperclassmen for the most part, with the exception of Aaron Rockstroh, and they've really been successful, but they just couldn't put together a string of good performances yesterday.
And now let's move on to starting lineups for each team. Let's start with the home team, the Mason Comets. Thomas, who do we have lined up here for the Comets?
Well, leading off, we have the second baseman for the Comets, Aaron Rockstroh. Aaron Rockstroh, the senior leader for the Comets and someone who's really been successful this season. Next, we have Olivia Popovich, the
first baseman, I believe, yeah.
The first baseman for the Comets, and she has also, she's been one of those sophomore stars for the Comets, really taken this team to another level with the underclassmen, Elena Harrison, Zoe Bishop, next in the order. They have done that as well. Both of them are in the top 5 or in the top 10 in GMC batting average. Both have had quite incredible seasons. Elena Harrison with 667 batting average, which is first in the GMC, and Zoe Bishop 508 batting average, and that's 7th in the GMC.
All right, let's proceed on to the Oak Hills Highlanders starting lineups.
Yeah, Oak Hills, leading off for them is Val Hudipol. She's the center fielder for Oak Hills, and she's been pretty successful for her team as well. Hudipol, as I mentioned last game, she was pretty impressive, 2 for 5, and she's been someone who's kind of taken off recently and been a steady performer with a 478 batting average on the season. That's something that between these two teams is surprisingly common.
Yeah, the high batting average is definitely something to look forward to when it comes down to not just colleges, but high school coaches too, looking at really changes the type of team that you're dealing with, whether they're your opponent or you're on that team, definitely makes an impact.
And then after Hudipol's second in the batting order is Taylor Wilp. She is fourth in the GMC with a .539 batting average on the season. Not too shabby, but it's kind of overshadowed by some of the Comets in this game, which is pretty surprising considering how hard it is to get a hit every time you're up to bat. And on top of that, she's third in the GMC with 5 home runs, so power hitter and an accurate hitter as well.
And on the mound for today, for Mason Comets, we have pitcher Ellie Buffenbarger. Buffenbarger has pitched 16 games, 96 innings pitched, 15-0 right now, 118 Ks, and currently with a 1.24 ERA, first in the GMC and second in the GMC with strikeouts. And then for the Oak Hills Highlanders, the pitcher is Sammy Reese. Reese has pitched in 19 games and currently with a 3.66 ERA. And we will now break for the national anthem. All right, the Comets will be fielding first. Oak Hills Highlanders again to start off batting.
Let's go back to the pitching battle just for a second. We started to talk about that and we got interrupted by the national anthem. Ellie Buffenbarger on the season was a perfect 15-0 before yesterday. She's now 15-1 on the season. Quite the impressive showing for her this season. She is third in the GMC among pitchers who have pitched more than 30 innings this year with an ERA of, I believe, 1.2. I'll check on that. 1.24. And she's been one of the Comets' best leaders and one of their most steady players throughout the year as she kind of sets the tone for the entire team. She's really someone who the Comets can rely on.
Couldn't agree with you more. Moving on to the next part. Let's talk a little bit about the big three, as we mentioned earlier. Buffenbarger, Harrison, and Bishop. And crazy stat for you. Right now, Zoe Bishop, a sophomore, is currently 5th in the GMC with home runs, and currently that's 33 hits, 19 runs, with a just over 500 batting average.
Yeah, Zoe Bishop's been one of the breakout stars for the Comets, standing tall in the outfield as well as at the plate.
And here we are. Currently batting is Val Hudipol. First one is a ball.
A 1-0 count for Buffenbarger, starting off strong and looking to, or that's my bad, not starting off the way she wanted to, and she bounces back on the second pitch.
Second pitch, strike. Count is currently 1-1. An amazing thing too is with Buffenbarger, she's not too bad with hitting. Most pitchers aren't typically too good at hitting. Buffenbarger is currently sitting at a .328 batting average, which isn't too bad at all. She has 19 hits, stacking up against the rest of her team. When it comes down to players that play most, that's actually really good. But yeah, Buffenbarger is one of those really unique players that is both successful when it comes down to pitching. Hitting could use a little more development, but you got to give it to. I mean, pitchers have a lot. That one soars out, foul ball.
Yeah, you're talking about Ellie Buffenbarger's hitting. That's not what she's asked to do. I mean, her main job is pitching.
Right.
And the fact that she can even add what she does to the Comets offense, she has a home run this year even, and that's something that the majority of the team cannot say. She's, as I mentioned earlier, she's just been a leader for the Comets and one that they have relied upon throughout the year.
Full count for Val Hudepool. Ground ball to shortstop, and ball is overthrown. Looks like just missed, just went off Elena Harrison's glove, and that'll count as a base hit.
Yeah, Elena Harrison, that pass was, that throw was just a little bit high for her and couldn't quite corral it.
Up next is Taylor Wilp. First pitch, a ball. And on the season right now, Taylor Wilp currently sitting at 41 runs, 30 RBIs, 5 home runs, 539 average, third in the GMC in home runs.
Yeah, Taylor Wilp, the senior, having quite a successful season, leading this Oak Hills team on the plate and having quite the good season for her. And she's been one of the main players that's kept this team afloat and competing at the top of the GMC.
Foul ball, soar a little left. 2-2 count now.
Yeah, Buffenbarger's had to pitch a lot in these first two at-bats. Never good when you want to have or stay in the game for a while and be successful. We saw this Monday against Fairfield.
And Hudepool is going to steal second. And with catcher Brooke Rice trying to throw her out, but no one was covering at second at the time. And that will go against as a strikeout for Taylor Wilp. So now 1 out, man on second. Up next is Andrea Gahan. And Gahan on the season right now, looking at 40 hits, 557 on base percentage, 32 RBIs, 6 home runs, and currently third in the GMC for RBIs. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, just above her is Elena Harrison.
Yeah, both teams have a lot of players who are near the top of their category in the GMC.
Just makes the matchup even more interesting. 2-1 count for Andrea Gahan. And it looks like the ball was tipped there. 2-2.
Yeah, she just got a piece of it there, and the count all of a sudden favors Buffenbarger.
That ball very close. Now full count, 3-2. runner on scoring position.
Gahan was almost hit by the pitch there. Buffenbarger put herself in a little danger of giving the automatic walk.
And looks like that'll be a foul ball, just going in a little bit of fair territory.
6 pitches at this at bat right now for Buffenbarger. Another extended count, and this is, it's not a disaster, but it's not what the kind of start that you like to see.
Right, you really want to make sure that your pitchers aren't too time consuming. And right now you're seeing it. Buffenbarger is going with these 6-pitch, 7-pitch at bats here, and really wearing down early, and it's definitely something you don't want to see.
Yeah, and Monday against Fairfield, she held strong for the first 5 innings of the game, but she started to give up some long at bats and a lot of walks, and eventually gave up 4 runs, some of which were just off walks with the bases loaded. So fatigue's something that she has to watch here, and the Comets have to try to protect that, and she's got to try to get some counts over with early.
Now we have bases loaded after 2 walks by Ellie Buffenbarger.
Kiki Morel was just hit by that pitch, and tough position the Comets are in the first inning.
And only 1 out too.
Right.
And now up, let's see, we have Sydney McElroy currently sitting at first in the GMC for RBIs, and that's definitely something you don't want to see with bases loaded.
Right.
With a 385 batting average, 455 on base percentage. Those are stats you don't want to mess with.
It really isn't, and it seems like perfect timing for Oak Hills, who just got one of their best hitters at the plate with the bases loaded.
And a short grounder hit to Buffenbarger. Force out at home. Bases remain loaded, 2 outs now.
Smart play by Ellie Buffenbarger. Right there as she...
Here's a replay. An excellent reflexes there by Buffenbarger. Way to get ready, get out of the end of her pitching motion, and get right back into fielder mode and field that ball down.
Yeah, it could have been easy for her to forget that the bases were loaded and just toss it to first for the easy out. But Buffenbarger making the smart play and preventing a run from being scored. And she has to watch this right here. 2-0 count, a walk means a run for Oak Hills.
Right now, Buffenbarger has a 1.24 ERA, and you won't really want to give that run up too early, because most times not. It normally means that more runs are to follow.
Right. Usually your best pitching is towards the beginning of the game, because you don't have to worry about your arm getting tired or something else impeding you.
4th pitch. And that one will be a strike. 2-2 count. Foul ball going back to the bleachers.
Another foul ball with 2 strikes. It's something that Buffenbarger and the Comets don't like to see, as it just extends the at-bat unnecessarily. Just getting a piece of it again is Hurley, and this at-bat we'll see its 7th pitch. Another strikeout for Buffenbarger as the Comets escape the top of the first without allowing a run.
An excellent pitching there by Buffenbarger, even despite handling with all that pressure of having bases loaded, not just once but twice. Just excellent execution there by Comets defense, and now everything that matters now is get back out there and hit some balls over the fence.
Right. Yeah, Buffenbarger, as you mentioned, has not been phased very much at all this season. She's someone who stays calm under pressure and is able to deliver when asked to do so. now the Comets will have a chance to possibly take the lead.
And hopefully maintain it. I mean, it's one thing if you have an early lead and they just catch back up. If this inning, or if this bottom of the inning winds up to become a game changer, you have no idea what could happen. I mean, whether the Comets score 1 run, 2 runs, or even 0 runs, just matters that they're testing this Oak Hills defense, wearing them out, and if they eventually do that, then they could lead to later success.
Right, and Oak Hills definitely tested out Buffenbarger in the first inning, putting the Comets in a bit of a hole, but Buffenbarger able to escape. And that's kind of what happened yesterday against Lakota East. They got down early. Bases were loaded with no outs yesterday in the first inning, and Buffenbarger escaped that. And it's just whether she can escape that later on in the game, because first inning is when you are strongest as a pitcher most of the time, and getting out of those tough situations later in the game is not always as easy.
Definitely agree with you here. And now pitching for the Oak Hills Highlanders, we have Sammy Reese. Again, as we mentioned earlier, her stats are a 3.66 ERA. Let's see. She's pitched in 19 games, most by any pitcher on the roster. And now we'll get to batting, starting off with number 4, Erin Rockstra. So Rockstra right now in the season, she's been having a really good year, both on and off the field. Got a 36 on the ACTs, going to Cornell University to major in neuroscience. Definitely something that you'd want to tell your fellow peers about. But here are her stats right now: 448 average, batting average, 507 on base percentage, 15 RBIs, and 30 hits. Not too bad at all.
Erin Rockstra, a threat in the classroom and on the field. She's someone who's talented all around and has had a very good year in many respects.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Rockstra. And that's a K for
Reese getting her.
Sammy Reese.
Yeah, starting off
Thank
strong.
you for saving that for me.
Reese starting off strong, striking out one of the Comets' better hitters.
And now to bat, sophomore Olivia Popovich. And Popovich right now is having a very good year. One of the many sophomores on the varsity roster. 561 average, 591 on base percentage, 23 hits, along with 41 at-bats.
Popovich loves to bunt, and looks like she was she's getting ready to do that here. And that's how she gets a lot of her bases, is that she can put it in the right place and run fast.
Two balls, 1 strike on Popovich.
Reese has really started off strong, the pitcher for the Highlanders, and she has on the year a 3.66 ERA. Not one of the best in the GMC, but she's been someone who's been relied upon in more games than any other pitcher. She has not always pitched as many innings as the other pitchers. She has 82 innings in 19 games.
That's Sammy Reese's second strikeout of the inning. And now up is first baseman Elena Harrison. And Harrison, among on the big three of Bishop, Harrison, herself, and Buffenbarger. Elena Harrison is definitely one of the better underclassmen in the GMC when it comes down to hitting.
Yeah, that might be an understatement. Elena Harrison leading the entire GMC
Yeah, there you go.
at this point, producing a hit at 2 out of every 3 of her at-bats. Elena Harrison has just been amazing for this Comet team.
Couldn't have found a better word for it. Second in the GMC for RBIs, tied for first in the GMC for batting average. And those are some heck of stats. 2 home runs right now for Elena Harrison, 33 RBIs, 667 batting average, again, among the best in the GMC. 703 on-base percentage, 36 hits, batted in 33 runs, along with 54 at-bats. And Elena Harrison hits it down second base, rolls into the outfield, and that will count as a single. Nice hit, though.
Yeah, popped it right over the head of Sammy Reese and in between shortstop and second baseman.
Here's a replay of that hit. As you can see, that's great form there.
Perfectly placed.
Got her hands out there, too. Excellent swing motion. Nice hit by Elena Harrison. Now to bat, we have Zoe Bishop, coincidentally, another big 3 member. And Zoe Bishop, 5th in the GMC for home runs, 508 batting average, 515 on base percentage, along with 65 at-bats, 29 RBIs or runs batted in. Great stats. And again, like Elena Harrison, she is a sophomore. Pop fly up into shallow outfield.
That was popped straight up. Zoe Bishop not putting that, or put it in a good place, but just left so much time for the outfielders to get there. And at the end of 1, still tied 0-0.
But you have to admit, Thomas, this is actually a very more of a defensive battle here than offensive. You got 2 really good pitchers squaring off. Defense is always awake. You saw earlier Ellie Buffenbarger got that ground out at the pitcher's mound. And then also with that pop fly, Val Hudipol took care of that ball very easily.
Yeah, and Elena Harrison getting the only hit for the Comets. Not a very good, or not a very successful inning for the Comets offensively, and almost a bad inning defensively, but Ellie Buffenbarger came in to save the day exactly when she needed to. Buffenbarger will try to improve in the second inning.
But yeah, you have to admit, for the effort that Ellie Buffenbarger has put in with all this outside distraction with, we saw 1 stolen base already. Normally you wouldn't really see that early. But the way that she's handled pressure, got a hand to her. Most pitchers, they don't deal with pressure in the best way, and Ellie Buffenbarger's definitely defied that notion. Foul ball there by number 3 for the Oak Hills Highlanders,
Tia Rizzo. Tia Rizzo, the shortstop for Oak Hills.
A second foul ball, 0-2 count. But yeah, Tia Rizzo has had a all right year, 244 batting average, 415 on base percentage, 6 RBIs, 10 hits.
And she draws a lot of walks, not too many.
Not so many hits.
No, she has about as many walks as she does hits. So that's the real way that she's a threat Ellie Buffenbarger trying to just force Rizzo to hit there by throwing it outside, just outside the strike zone.
3-2 count there. Started off 0-2 and then threw the 3 balls. Hopefully now, now that she's adjusted to Tia Rizzo, she knows what pitches she likes. She knows what pitches she doesn't. Now she can perfectly put it in the zone that she would want to hit it, and hopefully in Buffenbarger's case, get a strikeout.
Yeah, but as we say that, the first at bat of the inning, and it's a 6 pitch strikeout. So success for Ellie Buffenbarger, but comes with just even more fatigue.
And up next now we have, for the Oak Hills Highlanders, I believe Maria Curry, who has a .350 batting average, coincidentally a .350 on base percentage as well, 5 RBIs and 7 hits and 20 at bats. So you're looking at about a just under 50-50 hitter from the plate. And believe Kearney plays right field as well. Inside pitch. I'm gonna be called as a strike. 1-1 count. Fouled off the neck of the bat, and that'll be a 1-2 count.
Yeah, I'm surprised Curry took a swing at that one. That was a bit too close, and just a bit surprising that she swung at that one. Another strikeout for Ellie Buffenbarger. She gets 2 quick outs.
Definitely coming back from that a little scary first inning for Ellie Buffenbarger. Now it looks like she's definitely rebounded onto better terms. Now up is the pitcher, Sammy Reese. And Sammy Reese, as a hitter, 286, and again, coincidentally, for the second straight time, 286 on base percentage and batting average. 7 RBIs, 1 stolen base, 8 hits, 28 at bats. So, oh, pardon me, 14 at bats. Gosh, I have horrible vision. So you're looking at a pitcher who really doesn't go to the plate that often, but has had some success when it comes down to hitting. But like you said, Thomas, it's not what you're mainly on the field to do. You're mainly on the field there to pitch, and right there, Ellie Buffenbarger throws one up very high right. That'll be a ball, 2-2 count.
What you gotta like about Ellie Buffenbarger, sorry to interrupt you, is that she stayed calm, and she was laughing at herself after that last ball. She stayed calm, and she completed the strikeout.
Yeah, and not to mention those were 3 strikeouts. Great job there by Ellie Buffenbarger as the top of the second comes to a close. Current score, Mason Comets and Oak Hills Highlanders tied at 0.
And the Comets will come out in the bottom of the second, trying to start off the scoring after it's starting to become more of a pitching battle. I don't suspect that that'll last too long, but you really never know with 2 teams that are as talented as these two. A lot of good hitters, but 2 solid pitchers as well. And it's just a matter of who's going to show some fault first and allow the other team to get on the board.
And yeah, when you mentioned that it's as of now a pitching battle, pitchers tend to, as the game goes on, they start to lose the same strength that they had when it comes down to hand a ball to glove contact. And that's when hitters start to get their groove on, and that's when all these walk-off hits come on. And right now we have, for the Comets, Olivia Hopkins, currently sitting at 429 batting average, 441 on base percentage, 20 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, 24 hits, and 56 at-bats. So again, about little under 50-50 hitter, but in general, Hopkins is definitely sitting at a very pleasing stat. Foul ball. 1-1 count for Olivia Hopkins.
Comets and Highlanders have just one hit early on in this game. And the Comets going to try to break that right here. Olivia Hopkins, though, up against a 1-2 count.
Low ball inside, now recounts the ball, 2-2 count.
I'd be interested to see how long Sammy Reese stays on the mound. As I mentioned earlier, she has played in 19 of the team's 24 games, but pitches about 4 innings each time. So I have to suspect that around that 4 or 5 inning mark, she might be relieved by one of the other pitchers for the Oak Hills Highlanders.
2-2 count. Hopkins pops out to deep right. And that'll be the first out for the Comets.
Good power hit by Olivia Hopkins, but not quite far enough to do any damage there. And the Comets, or the Highlanders rather, get their first out of the inning.
Up next is the catcher, Brooke Rice. And right now, Brooke Rice is having a very good year. 365 average, 385 on base percentage, 13 RBIs, 23 hits, and 63 at-bats. And she will ground out.
Just an unfortunate timing right there as she grounds right to the first baseman, and she just has to stroll to first base to get the out.
And now we have Ellie Buffenbarger at the plate. Again, one of those players, or pitchers rather, that has some success at the plate, remarkably more than other GMC pitchers. That's a fly out there by Buffenbarger to deep left. And that leads to the second inning coming to a close, as the Comets will take back the field and go back on defense.
Yeah, becoming more and more of a pitching battle as we go along. Not quite what we expected to see from this one with the high-powered offenses, but whatever's presented to you in a game, just have to work with it. If you're either the Comets or the Highlanders, you just have to work with what's given to you. And the Comets will have to defend the Oak Hills offense, which has been good on the year, but Ellie Buffenbarger has largely kept them in check thus far.
And we'll see if Ellie Buffenbarger continues her strikeout streak, currently sitting at 3 strikeouts.
Something that amazes me about Buffenbarger is just her reach and her reaction time as a fielder, because even you see it even in warm-ups and in the game itself. She can extend her arm without even glancing at her glove and catch it with ease. Even in the game, when there's a line drive going past her on her glove side, she can easily snatch it out of midair and get it to first base with relative ease.
So we're at the top of the lineup for both teams when it comes down to hitting. We have Val Hudable back at the plate. I believe first what happened was a ground out. Or no, it was a error by Elena Harrison. Resulted in a single.
Yeah, Hudable has the only hit for the Highlanders this afternoon.
One count for Val Hudable. That ball will fly out of the stands. 1-2 count now on Val Hudable. And there's Ellie Buffenbarger's 4th strikeout of the day.
And it's her 4th strikeout in a row.
2, yeah.
4 straight at bats. Ellie Buffenbarger really, really having a good showing in the last 2 innings.
Now up next we have Taylor Wilp. First pitch is strike. And again, Taylor Wilp is definitely one of the better hitters in the GMC. 3rd in the GMC home runs, tied for 3rd for RBIs. And she's definitely an aggressive hitter with making several cuts at nearly each pitch.
Another one that was a little bit outside the box, and she went after it and just got a piece of it. Now 1-2 count
Now
for
2-2.
Buffenbarger.
Oh, pardon me.
Yeah, Eric Miller, the PA guy, very quick to put that one up on the board.
Second ball.
Buffenbarger still staying calm as she has throughout the game.
It's definitely a confidence factor too. Pitching is definitely a mental task as much as it is a physical task. It's definitely a lot of stress behind the mound when it comes down to what kind of pitch are you throwing, or thinking around who's on what base, if there are any runners, dealing with any people trying to steal bases. It's definitely a hard task to deal with. That's another ball fouled out.
Another thing that's got to be a little discouraging as a pitcher is when you have 2 strikes and they just keep hitting foul balls. Sometimes I wonder if pitchers get too impatient and just try to, as we say that, another foul ball, if they just try to get a little bit too aggressive with the pitch.
Yeah, Taylor Wilp is definitely not letting out in this at-bat here. Doing everything she can to keep this at-bat alive and hopefully get the hit she wants. And a ball hit straight to Zoe Bishop. Or pardon me, number 9.
Allie Weekly.
Allie Weekly.
Weekly caught that good reaction, quick reaction. And
here's a replay of that. Excellent catch there by Allie Weekly. And just straight to her. It's like a fielder's dream. No movement needed, just open your glove.
Right. So the strikeout streak ends, but still not giving up a hit since that streak began. It's Buffenbarger. Two outs in the top of the third for the Comets.
Fly ball, deep right center, and that is over. Home run ball there by Kiki Morel.
Yeah, that was just an incredible power hit right there.
Now making the score 1-0 in favor of the Oak Hills Highlanders.
Yeah. Andrea Gahan right there with the fantastic home run. As she just got everything on that ball.
That was a great hit there too. Bat to ball contact looked excellent. Couldn't have had a better hit there.
She really could not have, and just like that.
Ground ball going to Zoe Bishop, right to Elena Harrison, and that will result in going to the middle of the third inning.
Yeah, Ellie Buffenbarger thought she had it there, but Gahan had other plans as she kicks off the scoring in this one in the top of the third with a home run. That's quite the way to kick off the scoring, and she does quickly rebound though by getting Morel out. And the Comets will have a chance to retaliate and try to tie this one up or take the lead.
And right now with the Comets, they're starting back at the top of the lineup, starting off with Erin Rockstra, who at the first at bat that she had a strikeout swinging. Oh, pardon me, we're down to our we're down to number 8 on the lineup. We have Allie Weekly, the shortstop, again, who just had an excellent fielding play there. So Allie Weekly on the year has had a .407 batting average, .439 on base percentage, 8 RBIs, 22 hits, 16 runs, and 54 at bats.
Yeah,
not bad.
And not to be forgotten, she's a freshman.
Wow.
Yeah, she is another one of these underclassmen that have ignited this Comet offense, as she's getting on base at nearly half her at-bats.
It seems like nearly all of her family has something related with baseball or softball. With her two, she's actually a triplet too. She has brothers Wyatt and Jake, who both play on the freshman team.
Yeah, triplets are not very common, and when you have siblings that can play the same sport, it is pretty special.
Works out too, right. Especially whenever you go on to practice.
Right. Yeah, he has two reliable and worthy opponents, I guess, to go against her and to help her improve. That's always something that helps you become a better athlete, is when you have a significant challenger to help push you and make you better.
So now up we have Jill Aquila, or Aquilia, there you go.
Yeah, Jill Aquila on the year, another one of the sophomore stars for this team. She is second on the team with a .610 batting average, .619 on base percentage, but there she couldn't quite get it.
There's a ground out there. Now we have 2 outs.
And now we return to the top of the order.
So Erin Rockstra, again, as we mentioned before, pardon my mistake there. She did have a strikeout swinging there, but hopefully she'll rebound here. Tip ball will result in a strike.
St. Maurice has had a pretty good inning thus far. Really not allowing the Comets to retaliate at all after Oak Hills knew that they were going to try to come out strong.
Rockstra ground ball to second base. And that will end the inning.
Not the kind of response that the Comets wanted to see there. They had an opportunity to use the energy that they had to retaliate a little bit, but instead they kept the momentum in the Highlanders' favor.
And now Highlanders still lead 1-0 with the top of the fourth looming in. I believe now we have Sydney McElroy to lead it off for the Highlanders at the plate.
Yeah, McElroy 0 for 1 on the day. And she'll try to help that average.
And Buffenbarger is still in the game. Hopefully can last through the inning. And then after that, we'll see what happens. I mean, it all depends on what happens here in this inning, whether she pitches well or pitches in a state where she really can't keep that same momentum. But here's a clip of that home run earlier. As you can see there by bat motion, it was an amazing swing.
It really was. But I don't have too many doubts about Ellie Buffenbarger's longevity in this game. She hasn't had too many mishaps recently other than that home run. I think that may have been an outlier in what has otherwise been a relatively successful game for Buffenbarger. The Comets offense just needs to step it up. They haven't carried their weight so far in this one against a pitcher that has shown some weakness throughout the season.
1-1 count. Ball a little outside. That'll be 2-1 now. And the amazing thing too about Buffenbarger, she's been, again, dealing with, can't get over this, but her stress level is generally simmering over the same area. But she's handled all this stress, whether it was that home run earlier or bases loaded. She's handled it really well.
Yeah, just have to stay steady no matter what happens. Overcome the ebbs and flows of the game and just try to stay on that same level throughout the afternoon.
Inside ball. And prior to that, we had a ground out. And Buffenbarger seizes that one, and now we have 2 outs.
Buffenbarger just simply tracking that one through the air and getting the Comets' second out herself.
So now up out we have Kelsey Eads, first baseman, junior. So a little bit on her stats for the year. This is her first at bat, 306 average, 478 on base percentage, 16 RBIs, 1 home run on the year, 15 hits, and then 49 at bats. One-0 count. And foul ball right to the press box where we're sitting right now.
Yeah, if that window was able to be opened, that might have been.
That might have been your ball.
Right. Barger dealing with a 2-1 count now. She's done a good job of containing that recently and not allowing the pitch count to.
And another ball back towards the bleachers.
As I was saying, not allowing that pitch count to exceed 6 as it was a lot before, in the first couple of innings.
Two-two count. And again, Buffenbarger dealing with a 5-pitch at bat here, and definitely want to decrease that number of pitches drastically, if not by much. And there's a strikeout swinging, and that will conclude the offensive charge for the Oak Hills Highlanders for the inning.
Yeah, failing to capitalize on what was a good opportunity. They had a chance to keep the momentum going in their favor, and they, in the end, weren't able to capitalize as the Comets come out of the inning with the same deficit that they went into it with.
Highlanders still lead 1-0 at the middle of the fourth.
And I said that they came out of the inning with the same deficit they were. They might have a chance to improve it, whereas it looked like Oak Hills had the momentum shifting in their favor.
So we still have the same pitcher on the mound, Sammy Reese. She's definitely had a very good game right now, not letting up any runs, or not many hits for that matter as well.
Absolutely, against what is one of the most high-powered offenses in the entire state, if not the most.
So now at bat we have Olivia Popovich.
Comets have gone through the order and one more.
Popovich popping out. And a diving pursuit by the Oak Hills third baseman. And it looks like it's gonna go out foul.
That is
very close call.
It really was, as it was right on the base.
Coach Muff came out to
voice her displeasure.
Yeah, you could definitely see little concern there. But yeah, that ball's looks like it's gonna go out as foul. 0-1 count right now for Popovich.
That was perfectly placed too, right over the head of the third baseman.
And Popovich really using her speed there to beat out the shortstop to get onto first base. Here's that hit.
McElroy just waits too long to pass this. It takes too long to set up.
When it comes down, finish. Yeah, when it comes down to infielders, they really want to decrease that time as much as possible. When it comes down to getting the ball in your glove and then getting it into your hand and throwing it. For some people, or for some players, it does take a while. For outfielders, they really need to have that quick hand when it comes down to hitting the cutoff man, whether it's second base or shortstop. But for shortstop there, this was an unfortunate pursuit and end of the play there. But great speed there by Olivia Popovich.
Lena Harrison up against no 2 count and a little bit of danger of a strikeout, something that is not very common against her.
And that ball will go straight to the outfield, getting past the shortstop, and Elena Harrison has a base hit there with now one man scoring position, 2 on for Zoe Bishop.
Just a low line drive ground ball right there for Elena Harrison, and she gets on base. Now Comets have runners on first and second, possibly the best position they've been in to score this entire game. Well, definitely the best position they've been in to score all game. Zoe Bishop will have a chance to advance some of these Comet runners and possibly get on base herself. Olivia Popovich played it safe there, elected not to go home, and Comets have the bases loaded. Olivia Hopkins up next to bat. She is 0 for 1 on the day.
And now it looks like Sammy Reese is in Ellie Buffenbarger's shoes from the first inning with bases loaded.
Elena Harrison on the day, 2 for 2. Not much of a surprise there, but
Base hit. Oak Hills looking to turn 2, only gets 1.
and Popovich evens the score.
1-1 now.
Now Elena Harrison's on third as well, so one Comet scoring and another in scoring position.
Here's that RBI for you. As you can see, that throw was a little delayed there by the second baseman.
But getting the out is a small victory for Oak Hills.
Right, and then Brooke Rice is currently up now for the Comets. Pop out in shallow infield, and that one will end the inning.
Double play for Oak Hills is catching the fly ball and touching first base. So what looked like a promising inning for the Comets ends with just 1 run, but it's tied. Anything can happen now.
Right, and it's definitely something I hope to see here. Whether there's going to be a pitching change or not, it looks like Ellie Buffenbarger is going to come back on to the mound.
No surprise there if that does happen. She's someone who, when she pitches, she usually pitches the entirety of the game and has had quite a bit of success. Comets fighting for a share of the GMC title today.
Here's that double play made by the Oak Hills first baseman. As you can see, a perfect placement there. Pardon me, that was second baseman. Excellent movement there. Way to end the inning as well for Oak Hills. Way to come in with an excellent defensive pursuit. Now to move in, hopefully get some runs batted in. Nice way to end the inning for the Oak Hills.
Yeah, it looks like the tides were starting to turn once again in favor of the Comets, but Oak Hills keeping this game in check, and that's been a common theme throughout this one. Whenever one team starts to get momentum, the other team counters with a play that kind of discourages the other team, and that's why this game is so close. Both teams have been mentally strong when they face adversity.
So now here's Mary Curie. First pitch looks like it's gonna be hit off of Curie.
Curie 0 for 1 on the day. And on the season, .327 batting average, .362 on base percentage.
Second pitch, again, very close to hitting her. Definitely don't want to take a walk there.
And Buffenbarger has been so strong throughout this one. And that's not the way you want to get in your own head by hitting the batter by a pitch and giving them an automatic walk. And just like that, it's a 1-2 count. So it looks like Buffenbarger once again staying calm and taking control. And another strikeout.
That's her, I believe, 5th on the season, 5th on the game.
Sixth
by
my count.
Pardon me.
Yeah, she's had a lot more than 5 strikeouts on the season.
Yeah, a little misspeaking there.
Yes.
The corrected amount of strikeouts that she has is 118, so Glad I didn't say on the season there.
Yeah, that total of 118 is second in the GMC. And it's one of the many categories that she is in the top 1 or 2 in the GMC in.
Fly ball and shallow outfield. Nice job tracking down there.
Olivia Hopkins takes care of that one. And the Comets now have 2 outs with no one on base. The Comets have opportunity to end this half of the inning without too much damage being done. Buffenbarger throwing that one a little bit outside. Cue to Paul. Back once again. Earlier in the game, she got on base because of an error by Elena Harrison. And other than that, she hasn't made too much noise at her 2 at-bats. Well, the only one who really has is Gayan, who hit the home run.
Very close pitch there. Now it looks like the count will be 2-1 in favor of Oak Hills. Ball a little bit outside. 3-1 count now.
See Buffenbarger getting in the zone before this crucial pitch.
An excellent job there to track it down there by
Allie
Weekly.
Making the diving effort, but
not enough.
Not quick enough to stop Hudipole from getting to first base. And that's the second hit on the day for the Oak Hills Highlanders. Highlanders had 1 run on 1 hit, which is really the case of making the most of your opportunities, as that 1 hit was a home run.
High pitch will be a ball. Beautiful looking, hopefully to steal second base.
And she did do that in the first inning.
Really testing the pitcher, Ellie Buffenbarger, is Val Hudipole, and he is definitely making the most of it, trying to wear down Buffenbarger more and more, hopefully to getting the end result of a very tired pitcher.
And that was the goal of Oak Hills from the very beginning, getting those high counts and long at bats. They haven't kept that strategy throughout the game, but they're starting to revive it a little bit now, as we've seen these 3-2, 2-2 counts with a lot of foul balls.
A 3-1 count on Taylor Wilp. And that will be a walk. So now 2 on, 1 in scoring position. And now is Andrea Gahan, who hit a solo home run a few innings earlier. Inside pitch, strike 1.
Buffenbarger going to try to end this at bat pretty quickly. She doesn't want to risk giving up any runs to Oak Hills.
Careful, that's going to go through one of these times.
Here's the ball. Looks like it's going to bounce into shallow left field. And the Highlanders are going to get 1 run batted in.
And Val Hudipole scoring and giving Oak Hills the lead once again, 2-1 here in the top of the 5th. The Comets find themselves once again without the momentum. still with a runner in scoring position.
Foul ball going back into the bleachers. 0-2 count for Kiki Morel.
Morel is 0 for 2 on the day. Yet to make some noise against Ellie Buffenbarger, who's been pretty strong in the majority of the innings tonight. 2 outs, 2 strikes.
1 ball, looks like that pitch is going to hit Kiki Morel. Bases loaded now.
A missed opportunity right there for Buffenbarger, who could have ended that inning, but instead the bases are loaded for Oak Hills with 2 runners potentially in scoring position.
So now up is Sydney McElroy, who's batted pretty well today. McElroy looks at the first pitch, strike 1. Second pitch fouled into the Comets dugout, 0-2 count.
Once again, 2 outs, 2 strikes. Ellie Buffenbarger has a chance to redeem herself and put this one away without doing any more damage and keeping it a 1-run game.
A little outside.
That's the smart play. You don't want to, right there is a good time to try to draw a hit that really has no chance of being dangerous.
Pop-up going back into the stands. Count remains 1-2. Buffenbarger with the pitch. Ground ball. And that will end the inning.
Olivia Hopkins, staying calm and taking her time to get an accurate pass to first base and end this half of the inning. The Comets, once again, with a chance to tie it up. It's been kind of a pattern where no team can really hold momentum for any extended period of time. Usually in a game like this, it'll be a stalemate for a while and one team will take control, but that really hasn't happened yet.
Current score in the middle of the 5th. Highlanders lead the Comets 2-1.
Early in the season, when these two teams met at Oak Hills, the Comets won 4-1. So it was a close game. Nothing close to a mercy rule or anything like that we've seen in a lot of other Comets games. But Oak Hills keeping the Comets in check, learning a lot from their first game this season.
Now, Comets are in hopes of decreasing that lead and hopefully, in their case, taking the lead, with starting off with pitcher Ellie Buffenbarger at the plate. Buffenbarger pop flies, caught by the catcher. And that'll be the first out of the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, Buffenbarger just kind of clipped that and it went straight in the air. An unfortunate circumstance right there. And the Comets
Now up is
one out
pardon me.
and sorry, go ahead.
Now up is shortstop Allie Weekly, and she has had a pretty good time at bat.
Yeah, on the season, Allie Weekly, 407 batting average and 439 on base percentage. Somehow, that is not one of the higher batting averages on this team.
Well, then again, you have some very high competition to go up against with. You have 6 players, 500 or above. So it's definitely hard to move up. The average on the team is 464.
Yeah, and the on-base percentage average is 495, which is pretty insane when you think about it. 1 out of every 2 at-bats, player makes it to a base.
3-1 count on Weekly. Weekly pops it up into the outfield. Diving catch there by the center fielder, Val Hudipole. Great effort there by tracking down the ball.
And Hudipole and Gahan have been the two, arguably the 2 best players for Oak Hills thus far. Hudipole with 1 hit, and that absolutely crucial play right there to prevent Allie Weekly's hit from being a base hit, as that was in a pretty dangerous position.
Now up is Jill Aquila, hoping to get on base with 2 outs, no one on, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Aquila has been one of the best sophomores for this team, and that is no easy accomplishment considering how many good sophomores this team has. Aquila with a .610 batting average on the season.
1-2 count on Aquila.
And that .610 batting average is second to none other than Elena Harrison, another sophomore.
Two and 2 count on Aquila. Short hit to third base, and that will end the inning.
Comets failing to take advantage once again as 3 batters, 3 outs. Not much production once again from the Comet offense as they go through the end of their batting order. They'll return to the top in the bottom of the 6th inning, but still some strong hitters there, and someone has to step up for this Comet team because they have not had this game's breakout star. It's always a different player that shines for the Comets. In this game, they just haven't found out who it is yet.
Here's that diving catch there by Val Hudipole.
And that could have been, and that really was a momentum-changing play. Nice ball tracking there by Hudipole as she prevents a base hit Weekly.
So now up for the first time in this game, we have Lauren Hurley, 305 batting average, 382 on base percentage, 18 hits, and 59 at bats. And she is hit right in the side, and that will be a walk, resulting in 1 man on, no outs. Now up for the Oak Hills Highlanders, we have number 3, Tia Rizzo.
Rizzo in the game, 0 for 2. No one at the bottom of the batting order for the Highlanders have yet to get any production yet, but this game still has some time left, and Oak Hills has an opportunity to really take control of this game and put it away. No team so far has scored consecutive runs.
Rizzo to bunt, and Buffenbarger with a late decision.
Yeah, she hesitated for just a second. She wanted to get it to second base and realized she didn't have enough time.
You thought it moved on to another topic, and
yeah, by the time
too late.
Yeah, by the time she realized she wanted to throw it to first, she was already there.
So now 2 on, no outs. Here's the bunt, resulting in Ellie Buffenbarger looking to throw second. Realized she doesn't have time, then to first. No time there.
No outs right now with runners on first and second.
You know, a little ground out there to Ellie Buffenbarger. Now
Yeah,
resulting in 1 out.
Yeah, this time Buffenbarger doesn't wait at all and makes a quick decision to throw to first.
Learn from your mistakes and move on.
Right.
Excellent work. And now 2 on, both in running, or pardon me, both in scoring position.
The pitcher,
Sammy Reese.
is the one who can send some runners home. And if Oak Hills scores here, it's going to make it pretty hard considering how the Comets offense has performed.
Diving catch there. Excellent catch too by number 12 for the Comets, and that will be Jill Aquila.
Nonetheless,
They got the Comets got the out, but now it's 3-1.
you know, Oak Hills bringing another run home, and that's 2 consecutive runs for Oak Hills. And for the first time in this game, a team has scored consecutive runs. You have to wonder if that is the turning point, but I have to feel like with 6 outs still left before the Comets, or at least 6 outs for the Comets batting before this is over, there's still time for them to do some damage, only down by 2. And with just 1 out left to get for Buffenbarger, she can end this inning quickly.
First pitch in this at bat would be a ball. Now you gotta wonder too. Runner on second tagged up, went back. Runner on third went home.
Yeah,
Could easily avoid a 4th run for the Comets or for the Comets to face rather.
Right. Yeah, that was a decision that makes it a little bit harder for Oak Hills to score, but if it's a quality hit, especially to right field, won't be hard to score on. Buffenbarger dealing with a 2-1 count here, and the pressure's on for both sides. Buffenbarger to end the inning and Oak Hills to keep it going. Hudipole, who has had significant success so far this game, has a chance to
make the most out of this 2-2 count.
And she's the one who had that diving catch at the top of the inning rather.
And ball is overthrown. Intended target was Erin Rockstra, but it just soared over.
And notice that the Tia Rizzo is on third base. So if she had decided to advance to third,
she could have easily gotten that run in, yeah.
Absolutely. But it's still 3-1, and the Comets have one more shot to end this without giving up any runs.
First pitch will be a ball.
And it's against, and this is not going to be easy for Buffenbarger as Taylor Wilp is at the plate. And she's the most successful hitter that Oak Hills has had this season.
It looks like Coach Muff will enter onto the softball diamond, pardon me. Have a little pep talk with the infielders. Yeah, Hannah Buffenbarger too. I mean, she's dealt with nearly everything that could be a distraction to her, whether it's the runners, the count. She's dealt with everything, and she's definitely had a lot to go through for this game. Whether it was the high at-bats or high amounts of pitches, she's definitely dealt with adversity pretty well.
And you saw Coach Leanne Muff talking to the infielder. She probably could have stood to talk to the outfielders as well, as Taylor Wilp is third in the GMC with 5 home runs.
1-2 count on Taylor Wilp. Slightly outside pitch. 2-2.
2 outs, 2 strikes. Once again, for Ellie Buffenbarger, she's been in this situation a couple times and not been able to end the inning. We'll see if she can end that streak.
An excellent strikeout looking. Great job to conclude the half of the inning, pardon me, for Ellie Buffenbarger. Here's a replay.
This is where Oak Hills scored, and great diving play right there.
That's Jill Aquila, the great throw, or great catch, pardon me.
Yeah, Aquila was not originally listed, listed on the original varsity roster, but she's now starting. So something
big jump from JV to starting as varsity, and especially as a sophomore too.
Well, and to be one of the main contributors as well. She's second in the team, batting average over 600, and she's been one of the integral parts of this team. And now the Comets will have to step up on the offensive side with only 1 run through 5 innings.
And Sammy Reese remains on the mound too.
And why not? She's had immense success in this game, and she's shown no signs of slowing down. She's dealt with pretty much everyone there is to deal with. She's made good batters, with the exception of Elena Harrison, and look somewhat pedestrian.
And now Erin Rockstroh is at bat for the Comets, top of the lineup. And there will be a base hit and possibly a little more room to go too. Nope.
No, that was the smart play by Erin Rockstroh, though.
But hey, hit's a hit.
Absolutely can put a little momentum in the Comets' favor. I've talked about momentum throughout this game, and it's meant absolutely nothing throughout most of it. But this is a time where the Comets need it. They need to have success, and they can't afford to have mistakes.
And Popovich is going to bunt, and excellent use of that. And it looks great speed, though.
It was just foul, but
yeah, just bounced a little bit wrong.
That's her specialty. That's the exact right place to put it. And Rockstroh leading off a lot there off of first base. Got to be a little bit more conservative. I feel like down 2 in
you
the
got to
bottom of
have
the
a
6th.
better process of thinking when it comes down to those scenarios like that, especially when we're about inning and a half away from ending this.
1-2 count. Popovich just caught the bottom of that ball.
Popovich ground ball, shortstop, and that will result in a single. Great work by Olivia Popovich, not just by using that speed, but great ball placement there.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you want to see. Now Oak Hills is going to regroup because in 2 straight hits.
This is a threat. This is a very immense threat.
Absolutely is. And the Comets have not had this type of success throughout the entire game. I believe this is the first time they've had 2 consecutive hits in this game. And this is when you have to, as Oak Hills, you have to remind yourself not to get rattled and to just stay focused on the task at hand. They still lead by 2 runs.
And they could easily turn 2 here too.
Yeah, they still control this game. But Elena Harrison,
anything can happen with her. We've seen whether it be home runs, RBIs, we've gotten everything.
Elena Harrison, 2 for 2 so far today, but starting off with a strike.
One and one count on Elena Harrison. And Elena Harrison is going to get a run batted in for that one.
Once again,
34
perfect.
RBIs now.
Yeah, once again, perfect ball placement right there by Elena Harrison. Still perfect on the day now, 3 for 3. And she has really been the Comets' lone consistent body out there. She's the only one who's hit every time at bat, which is no small task by any means, but getting a well-deserved RBI there and bringing the Comets to within 1 run. Now Bree Grimes is going to pinch run for Elena Harrison.
And right now, speed really kills at this point. You just saw Olivia Popovich with that excellent, even with a small ground ball, she managed to get a first base like it was nothing.
3 straight hits for the Comets and still no outs.
And a fly ball into deep left, and that will just go foul.
That one looked like it might be gone, and that would have completely blown the top off of this place. And this crowd would have gone crazy.
And Zoe Bishop, again, very well known for home runs. 5th in the GMC right now with 3 home runs, almost 4
And leading the team.
But
right.
just 1 foul. And another pop fly into deep outfield, and that one will be a fly out. Nevertheless, run is advanced. As we now see Olivia Popovich on 3rd base, and that's definitely what you want to see there. With you got your one of your fastest players on 3rd base,
and one of your fastest on 1st as well.
Yeah, can't go wrong now.
Yeah, right. Bree Grimes, her specialty is running, and to have 2 speedy players on bases is crucial for the Comets. Trail just by 1 with just 1 out. And Olivia Hopkins gonna try to even the score.
On 1 count now. Now to make it 0-2. Grimes steals 2nd. Now both runners are in scoring position for Olivia Hopkins. Hopefully will result in an RBI. Ground ball to 1st. RBI for Olivia Hopkins. And we have a tie ball game.
Indeed we do, and it proves that Olivia Popovich taking 3rd after the first out proved to be crucial in tying this game. Now a runner on 3rd for the Comets with 2 outs.
And Brianna Grimes is on 3rd. Brooke Rice to foul back.
That one went completely over the stands, right next to the press box.
0-1 count for Brooke Rice. High inside pitch, 1-1 count.
Grimes leading off a third pretty aggressively on that last pitch.
And Brooke Rice really trying to extend out on that one. That was a little outside, and you just saw how Sammy Reese really made the most of it. Brooke Rice pop fly into midfield, and that one will end the inning. Tie ball game going into the 7th inning.
And the Comets prove, excuse me, that their offense can strike at any time by tying it at 3 after not showing much through the first 5 innings.
You really got a hand to Olivia Popovich there, really placing the Comets into a great feel right now with sitting at a 3-3 tie, and hopefully the Comets will prevail with allowing no further runs on defense.
Right, Popovich was smart. She was strategic in choosing when to run and when to stay, and turned out to be all the right decisions. And the Comets did not get any unfortunate outs, be that being caught stealing a base or leading off too much. And that's the kind of thing that you don't want to see. If you're a Comet fan or coach, you don't want to waste an out, I guess, on something that you don't need to because you're being too aggressive or getting too greedy.
And while we have this time to, I guess, break, Comets right now are playing for a share of the GMC title.
Yeah, they are. They could have won the GMC outright if they had beaten Lakota East yesterday, but they lost their first game of the season, but will get a chance to redeem themselves in the 7th inning. Ellie Buffenbarger still on the mound.
Inside pitch, looks like it's gonna be a ball. Ball 1. Second pitch, fly ball going behind the stands. 1-1 count.
That's about as high of a fly ball as I've ever seen.
And that'll be Andrea Gahan at the plate. 1-1 count for her.
At least in softball. And that one went a good 20 feet over the press box. Gahan has 2 hits on the day, including the home run, and she draws the automatic walk there. So now Oak Hills has a runner on first with still no outs.
So now with 1 on, Kiki Morel takes the plate. Here's a replay of that. That actually might not have hit. It looks like it hit off the end of the bat.
Yeah, that's a play where it's not easy for the ump to see and just have to call it one way or the other based on the reaction of the player.
Ground ball just going to go past Olivia Hopkins. Going for 3. Erin Rockstra to get her out at third base. What a play. Excellent throw there by Jill Aquila. Wow.
Absolutely. Gahan getting a little bit greedy there, trying to get to third base, getting more sure scoring position. But Erin Rockstra ready for that pass.
Let's get a replay of that. Look at that. Look at that throw. Aaron Rockstra was just ready with the ball. Perfect placement by Jill Aquila. Got to hand it to her. Excellent throw. Wow, what a play.
All around fantastic play, and it helps the Comets keep the momentum, because with one out, you would have had one runner in scoring position and two on base. And now, instead of having a runner on first and third, it's just one on just first. So one out and an 0-1 count.
And one on as well.
For McElroy on Buffenbarger.
Fly ball goes right into the stands. We've seen a lot of those today too.
Yeah, we really have. Usually we see 5 or 6 of those over the course of the game, but
Usually it means that the batter is undercutting it.
right. And that's trying to get a power hit most of the time. But Ellie Buffenbarger, with the exception of the one home run, has not allowed too many hits into the outfield. 1 out, 2 strikes.
And a fly ball looks like and that's definitely foul. It's gonna go out.
Yeah, that one curved quite a bit. Looked like it was relatively close to the line, and then it curved out well wide.
1-2 count right now for McElroy. And the cut is just enough to result in a strikeout. 7 strikeouts now.
McElroy herself was conflicted over whether to swing on that one, but she did, and
It's whether you do it or you don't.
right, and 2 outs. Now crucial, because Ellie Buffenbarger can end this, and no runner in scoring position.
Excellent pitch there by Ellie Buffenbarger. Just perfect placement. It's hard not to swing at. And another great pitch, 0-2. Buffenbarger is definitely putting in some momentum in this last, hopefully for the game, this last half of the game. Fly ball into mid-right field, and Aquila will snag that.
And you know what else Ellie Buffenbarger did besides not give up a single run? She energized the crowd. She got the Mason crowd more vocal and more active, and that's gonna give the batters for the Comets in this bottom of the 7th inning
A lot more confidence,
right,
or even the confidence that they need.
yeah, and energy to try to end this right here. Potential of a walk-off hit.
Score remains 3-3, mid-7th.
And staying on the mound for the 7th is Sammy Reese. Reese, who averages about 4 innings pitched per game that she does play in, is going to pitch the full 7 in this one, and we'll see if we do see extra innings, because this game has been relatively even, although the Comets have been more successful as of the recent inning.
And to lead it off for the Comets, it will be the pitcher, Ellie Buffenbarger.
Leading off for the Comets, the pitcher number 15, Ellie
Buffenbarger
Buffenbarger.
does not have a hit today, but we'll try to change that here, as both her team and the crowd are amped up.
First pitch, slightly outside, strike 1. Second pitch, a little more outside, 1-1 count for Ellie Buffenbarger.
Buffenbarger employing the same method that she does on the mound, staying calm, weathering the storm, and looking for a good opportunity to get a hit. A couple of outside pitches right there by Sammy Reese.
2-1 count now for Ellie Buffenbarger.
That could potentially give Buffenbarger a little bit more confidence.
Buffenbarger looks to that one. 2-2 count now. All or nothing now for Ellie Buffenbarger. And that will be a ground out for Ellie Buffenbarger.
Yeah, Buffenbarger just got a piece of it and didn't get all the power she wanted. So it was an easy ground out.
Now Allie Weekly will get up at the plate for the Comets. 1 out, no on for her. High pitch, ball 1.
Weekly has also not had any hits in this game.
Two-0 count for Allie Weekly. Looks at that one, 2-1.
Just inside the strike zone right there. Allie Weekly thought it was a little bit too far outside, but
another inside pitch, 3-1 count.
Weekly might stay conservative and try to get the walk here.
Now with 1 on, now comes Jill Aquila, who has had an excellent defensive game today.
Yeah, she has. She's saved multiple runs from being scored and been solid whenever she's been called upon. 1-0 count now for the left-handed Aquila.
Aquila looked to bunt there. A little high pitch there.
Just caught a piece of it.
1-1 count now for Jill Aquila. And Aquila will bunt. And the ball is dropped. And Aquila is safe at first. Weekly advances to third base. And now the Comets have 1 run in scoring position.
Absolutely crucial
Or 1
right
man in
there.
scoring position, pardon me. And now Erin Rockstra up at bat for the Comets. She could end it all right here.
Rockstra was successful in her last at bat, and she'll have an opportunity to potentially get a walk-off hit right here and end this game.
All it takes is 1.
That is true.
Whether it be a ground out, fly out, anything.
Anything that's as far away from home plate as possible
Exactly.
is more likely to score here. Two-0 count. She gets a walk. The bases will be loaded. And then
And
Popovich.
it looks like it's an intentional walk. 3-0.
That would surprise me, because Olivia Popovich, not exactly.
And there you go. You got bases loaded. Olivia Popovich, your fastest player on.
But she's kind of trapped here a little bit because
she's mainly a bunt specialist
Right.
and really can't hit that. Or I wouldn't say can't hit
Well,
that
she's
much.
not a power
that's
hitter.
not her, right, not a power hitter.
That's not her specialty.
She's not an Elena Harrison or a Zoe Bishop.
Yeah, she's.
But with
Gonna have
one
to-
out, the Comets do have some room.
That is true, but one out is the ideal place to score a run because you have room.
You have flexibility.
Right, exactly. Because with 2 outs, if there's an out, you can't score.
Yeah, there's not that much opening.
Right. But if
Popovich gets it here, this could all be over.
the goal here has to be
Even a walk at this point would result in a walk-off. Walk-off. No pun intended.
Gotta think that Sammy Reese is going to be very careful of that and try to hit inside as much.
And a fly out there by Olivia Popovich, and bases remain loaded. No runners advance. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Elena Harrison is up.
Elena Harrison, 3 for 3 on the day. Oh my goodness, this is
Wow.
what you live to see in softball. This is one of the most exciting finishes.
This will
you
be
can
an
have,
edge on your
potentially.
seat sort of at bat. And
We're
Elena
headed-
Harrison flies out.
We're headed for extra innings.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, this has been one heck of a game. It's been so close. 1 run after the next being scored. Wow.
Yeah, that was quite a back and forth game all the way through the first 7 innings. Oak Hill struck first with the home run. Comets came back, and Oak Hill's countered with 2 more runs in the 5th. The Comets scoring twice in the bottom of the 6th to even the score. We start extra innings with Ellie Buffenbarger remaining at the mound.
And at this point, you definitely do want your best pitcher on the mound, making sure any effort possible of the Oak Hills Highlanders to seal this victory, make it not happen, make it stop.
Right, the role of the Highlanders right here is spoiler. The Comets risk losing their 2nd straight game, and that's not exactly what you want to do going into the playoffs. You want to have a little bit of momentum just to get going early on against the first opponents.
And now up is Tia Rizzo, who has definitely made her mark on this game with a lot of attempts to steal bases. Looks like Buffenbarger is trying to get a rhythm going. 1-0 count against Rizzo. Rizzo looking to bunt. 2-0 count now.
And Buffenbarger falling behind in the count a little bit early. Still time to protect it.
2-1 count now for Tia Rizzo. Two count now for Tia Rizzo.
After that foul ball right there, just getting a piece of it, but
Just hits the tip.
either way, that would have been a strike unless that somehow went forward.
And a high one there. Full count now for Tia Rizzo.
Full count. Crucial moment right here.
And a strikeout swing there for Ellie Buffenbarger.
A confident swing from Tia Rizzo, but a well-placed pitch by Ellie Buffenbarger And she gets the first out of the inning for the Comets on yet another strikeout.
First pitch. High, looks like it'll be a high ball. 1-0 count.
Ellie Buffenberger with 11.
Aaron
Ks.
Rockstra drops the ball, and what could have been an out results in a single.
Yeah,
It's not too much, but in the long run, it could wind up affecting the Comets. Here's that pitch. And Rockstra, great alertness to get it going, but just mishandled the ball.
yeah. The key for Rockstra and the Comets as a whole is to not get rattled by that and to learn from the mistakes.
Rockstra hopes to turn 2. Ball goes through the glove of Olivia Hopkins. And that's the second mishandled ball. And that's 2 straight errors now for the Comets. They really need to turn this one around.
Yeah, not a great start for the inning.
Especially now with one man scoring position. You want to do everything you can to prevent further runs scored.
Right. And Buffenberger is doing what she can to give the infielders an opportunity to get some outs. Beautiful, giving a little bit of a swing there, and will be inside the strike zone.
0-1 count for Beautiful. Second pitch, fly ball into left field. That ball is caught.
Zoe Bishop standing square there and getting the second out for the Comets. The Oak Hills Highlanders still have runners on first and second though. But with 2 outs, that's far less of a threat than it was with 1.
At this point, I'd go with the force out either at third or second.
Right.
To wherever's convenient for the fielder.
That one went on looks like it may have gone on the track as runners were going
Yeah,
past
we have
it.
the Mason Invitational tonight. Oh, I'm guessing it's just warm-ups now. None of them are running
Yeah,
yet.
most likely, but still,
Yeah,
not the kind of thing I was looking at.
and a mishandled ball. Brooke Rice hoping to throw it to Aaron Rockstra, just not in time. Now you have both runners in scoring position.
Another one of those mishaps that could cost the Comets. They've had a few of those in this 8th inning, but
Force out anywhere but second.
right.
Fly ball, Zoe Bishop hoping to get that one. And it just goes over. Oh my goodness.
3 runs scored in the park, home run right there.
Oh my goodness.
Another
I think what
close
happened
call.
was Bishop had it. It just rolled off her glove and into
Yeah,
off the fence.
it did.
Wow.
She didn't quite know exactly where the fence was, and she backed into it and was caught a little off guard. And another crucial mistake for the Comets. They've had 3 or 4 of those in this inning, and that's
Can't
really
imagine
cost
what
them.
that would do to the player. That's just one of those things.
It takes such a mental toll.
Yeah,
It's tough to rebound from something like that.
well said, well said.
But Ellie Buffenbarger trying to remain strong and starts off with an 0-1 count and an 0-2 count. Buffenbarger can give the Comets an opportunity
Foul ball is going to go into the MHS parking lot. 0-2 count now
With one more strike.
for Andrea Gahan.
And Gahan has had that home run and 2 hits on the day.
Hoping to prevent any further runs for the Comets. Slightly outside. 1-2 count for Gahan. Just hit off the neck of the bat. Count remains 1-2.
Well, Buffenbarger has really been tested by Oak Hills and her own teammates as well during this 8th inning. A couple of mistakes have put the Comets in a bit of a hole here, but they have a chance.
And with that strikeout, the Comets will now get to work on offense. And they do definitely have a lot of work to make any sort of comeback here. If they score any less than 3 runs, then game is over and the Highlanders win. But it's been one heck of a game, regardless of whether who wins or loses. It's been an amazing contest between these teams. And also with the Comets just coming off a loss, gotta think what they are in a mentally shape. Just gotta put that into consideration too. I mean, if they lose this one, or whether if they win this one, their confidence is boosted by a lot. If they lose this one, they go into a state tournament with, or pardon me, I believe they have one or two more games. Oh, they go into the state tournament after this. But they hope to go into the state tournament with a lot of excitement, a lot of taste of victory, and
but if they don't, they're not going to start off the postseason facing opponents of the caliber of Oak Hills and the Dakota East.
They'll have a much better situation than what they're facing today,
and they'll have time to regain confidence and
rebuild as well.
Right, and to work through the mental mistakes and to try to improve upon them.
So now up is Zoe Bishop. Pitch is slightly outside, 2-0 count for Zoe Bishop. And she is one of the home run leaders in the GMC, sitting at 5th with 3 home runs. Wouldn't be surprised if anything like that happens here.
It's the time when
it would be most clutch.
Yeah, when leaders and top performers have to step up. It's these kind of situations that they're going to beat in the playoffs, and this is a big test for what they can do.
Fly ball, caught by a second baseman. That's 1 out down. And now up for the Comets is number 6, Olivia Hopkins, the second baseman.
Zoe Bishop is upset at herself that she didn't put that one just a little bit lower and give it a little bit less time to the infielders to get to that one.
Foul ball going down first baseline.
A line drive right there.
Yeah.
On the line.
If only it were inbounds. If it were only a fair ball, pardon me. We got Eric Miller up here critiquing my baseball vocabulary. But yeah, Olivia Hopkins currently is facing a 1-1 count. Low inside, 2-1.
This is one of the most crucial at-bats. Each at-bat gets more crucial in this inning, especially. And Hopkins, if she gets out here,
3-1 count now.
then it could really hurt the Comets' chances to make a comeback.
Now, if she looks at this one, if it's a strike, it's not too bad, but you'd hope with it being 3-1 that she goes for it. And a line shot, and it's at the fence. Hopkins is going for 2. Slides in, it's a double. What a hit by Olivia Hopkins.
Perfectly placed in between center and right field. And the Comets have a runner on second, and up to bat is the catcher, Brooke Rice.
And Brooke Rice, it goes into center field. Hopkins going for home. Run scores. 6-4 now. Highlanders only lead by 2. Brooke Rice with the RBI. Now with 14 RBIs on the season.
And Brooke Rice performing when she needs to and driving one in. And it's 6-4 with another runner on first. And the pitcher, Ellie Buffenbarger, up next. Buffenbarger has not had her most successful game on the plate, but she'll have to get something going here if she wants to keep the Comets' hopes alive.
Buffenbarger takes a swing. It's going to go into center field. And the Comets are definitely rallying here.
They absolutely are.
With a 1-out rally. Imagine that. And now we got a pinch runner.
That's Holland Tolliver, the other pitcher on this team. So now we have
Freshman. One of the 2 freshmen, I believe. Allie Weekly and Holland Tolliver.
Now we have 2 pinch runners, Abby Mullins and Holland Tolliver on base, while Allie Weekly has a chance to advance some Comet runners.
Ball a little too inside. Weekly currently facing 1-0 count. Ball is just going to go foul. 1-1 now for Allie Weekly. And you gotta think now, best thing that you can do now is either scoring a runner or just advance so you have both runners in scoring position, 1 on third, 1 on second.
I think that's a kind of a dangerous game though, that you play doing that, because if I believe Jill Aquila's next. If Aquila fails, then you put yourself in a bad position. But you do have.
But then again, anything can happen. We've seen a 3-run shot go by. We've had everything go by, honestly. We've seen a lot.
It has been one of the most exciting innings, if not the most exciting that I've ever seen in softball.
High pitch, and Allie Weekly will take the walk.
Bases are loaded for the Comets once again. For 2 straight innings, the bases are loaded. The only difference this time, it's with 1 out, not with 2. And the Comets are down by 2 runs and are not tied. Aquila now with 2 runners in scoring position and an opportunity to advance 1 or 2 to home.
And Aquila looks at that one. That's going to be a ball.
Yeah, and with a walk, the Comets score. And that's where St. Mary's has to be careful.
And as you mentioned earlier, best case scenario for Aquila, based off her hitting record, the Comets would be fine with the walk, honestly.
Right.
It'd just make it a lot easier with Erin Rockstrub up at the plate, and she's came in clutch on multiple occasions with a .448 average, batting average .507 on base percentage, 15 RBIs. And it's in.
And an
Abby
error.
Mullins scores.
An error from the infield.
Oh my goodness. It's a one-run game.
6-5 with 1 out. And bases are still loaded for the Comets. Unbelievable.
Jill Aquila, she did it. She
did
defied your
exactly-
expectations.
She did exactly what she needed to do in that situation. A fortunate bounce right there, and unlucky for the Oak Hills infield.
And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
Interesting with
Very interesting
after
move.
sticking with Sammy Reese for so long. Looks like they're going to change to Kaylee McCarthy, who's had much better numbers on this season.
.88 ERA, third in the GMC with wins. Wow, this game is definitely game. This is changing very, very quickly. Now it's Erin Rockstra versus Kaylee McCarthy.
And how does the dynamic of this game change is what you have to wonder. Do the Comets stay confident, or and do they disregard the pitching change? Or do they get a little rattled by the fact that she has better numbers? I got to think that the fact that she hasn't pitched at all today and is up against a Comet offense which has been so successful in the last several at-bats will affect her in some way.
You got to think coming into this environment, this is going to be very critical that she doesn't do anything wrong.
That one's real strike. So an 0-1 count for Rockstro as McCarthy starts out strong.
We got Aquila, Allie Weekly running now. Rockstra grounds out. And that's going to be a force out. Foul ball. And Rockstra will head back to the plate, facing an 0-2 count.
That is big because...
One out though.
Right, if that were a second out, this game would have completely changed, and excuse me, McCarthy would have gained a lot more confidence.
Rockstra, ground ball, fumbles the ball.
One runner scores for the Comets.
It's a tie ball game now. We have Aquila got tagged out by the chest, I believe.
2 outs though for the Comets, but a runner on third, and we are tied here at the Mason Softball Complex. Against all odds, the Comets have overcome the errors of the top of the 8th and got a little luck of their own.
And we got the speedy Olivia Popovich now, who hopefully, if this goes well, the bunt will, if she bunts, it'll play out well enough that Allie Weekly will be able, and Allie Weekly will score! That's ball game, and that is over.
Olivia Popovich popped it right over third base. An unbelievable finish to this one as Allie Weekly gets the winning run. Olivia Popovich continuing her heroics.
Oh my goodness.
And the Young Guns for the Comets win it. A walk-off RBI single for Olivia Popovich. And the Comets come back from down 6-3 in the top of the 8th to win 7-6. They were down in the 6th inning by 2. They came back to tie it. In the 7th inning, they held steady. In the 8th inning, they fell behind 6-3 after a couple of unfortunate errors in a series of bad luck plays. They came back and did everything they needed to, fought through a pitching change, and the Comets come away with the win. Final from the Mason Softball Complex, Comets 7, Highlanders 6. Thanks for tuning in, folks.